Hey guys, sorry. Welcome. Today we're gonna do an organism of the week. Organism. Sorry. Um. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about the starfish. So they are, of course, an invertebrate. All starfish are carnivores, meaning they all eat meat. Surprisingly enough, as a general rule, they can live for potentially up to 35 years. They range from a size between 4 inches to almost 9.5 inches. These guys, even though they are called a starfish, obviously they are not. Um, they remember we did the video about the fossilized sea urchin. Well, this guy is related to sea urchins and to sand dollars. There are 2,000, somewhere around 2,000 different species. They most commonly have 5 arms, but they can have as many as 40 arms. Now, what do they have to protect themselves? Well, the skin, at least now, is extremely bony and a little bit spiky, hence the name echinoderm. They do not live in fresh water. They can only be found in salt water. A few in brackish water. Now, brackish water we tend to think of being like an estuary type situation. Now, one thing that's sort of cool, is they can regenerate at least a little bit. Mostly, the regeneration occurs within the limbs, but there are some species that can regenerate a whole new sea star from just a severed limb. Now, you may have heard that when a starfish eats, that they send out their stomach. Let's talk about it. So, on the bottom of a starfish, real quick anatomy lesson. This area here, where you see that little bit of orange, or it's a little bit darker, this is where the feet would be. They would go all the way to the mouth. Those are 2 feet, and they're going to use those to move, but more importantly, they're going to use them to hold on to prey. And they're going to use those feet to open oysters or clams. And then they're going to get that stomach out of the mouth. And it's going to cover the prey as much as possible. And it's going to use that to actually digest the prey item. And then when that's done, they're going to bring it back. There is actually a disease that is hitting starfish, and they're calling it sea star wasting disease. I have not really heard of this too much, but it basically dissolves they lose their limbs and eventually disintegrate. Pretty nasty sounding disease. They also have, and it doesn't show, but they have sort of an eye at the end of each arm, but the arms do not see. They're basically there to see light and dark. They move basically using water as sort of a hydraulic system. They pump water in, move it to where they need, and then they're able to move. They don't have necessarily, yeah, they don't really have a brain. Their nervous system is spread out through the arms. They don't have blood as we think of blood. So, yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. If you get a chance, go to, once we get over this coronavirus stuff, go to the aquarium or someplace that has starfish and take a look, because they are pretty interesting things. So with that, goodbye. Have a great day. Learn, get educated, enjoy.